to a podcast called Fat Man on Batman. Some of you folks have heard about it. What we're going to do today is do one live. I've only done one in front of an audience once before at the San Diego Comic-Con, and that was with Bruce Timm. The great Bruce Timm. Now, as you can hear in the room, it's pretty loud and whatnot. I'm going to have to bury the mic into my mouth. I'm going to apologize in advance to every mother with a child out there. Things tend to get a little salty. I'll try to keep it clean considering it's a big wide room. Think of the children. But to be honest, it's going to be fairly easy for me to keep this clean today because today I'm going to revert back to my childhood. We are all the sum total of our experiences in life, but who we aim to be, that's the sum total of all the people that we look up to, our heroes, the people that you've seen go before, do things that you say you want to do, people that influence you, and they're not even necessarily people you always meet. The very first hero I had in my life, I'm 42 years old, and I've held on to this hero since I discovered him, was Batman. Batman meant the world to me as a kid. My first exposure to the idea of justice, of a caped avenger, of somebody who just wants to do the right thing. And my first exposure to Batman, ironically, was not through the comic books, and it wasn't through the cartoons. When I was a kid, on PIX, Channel 11, back where I'm from, back east, they would run a double block of the Batman, Bill Dozier Batman show from the 1966 to 1968. And they would run back-to-back episodes, and that's where I discovered him. So from age 4, I had this little black and white TV with rabbit ears that was sitting in the kitchen. My playroom was in the kitchen, which explains this. So I'd sit in the kitchen, and every day at the same time, it was began 3:30 because we were home from school. I'd immediately go to the TV. That was my friend. I didn't have real friends. I had this black and white TV with rabbit ears. I would sit down, turn it on, and wait. And there would invariably be a commercial for Perfection, the game that my parents would never buy me because they said that I would swallow the pieces. And right after that, boom, they went into the adventure. So my first Batman shall always be Adam West. Now, like I say, man, who we want to be in life, who we are is the sum total of our experiences. Who we want to be is the sum total of the observations we make, man, of the people we meet and our heroes. And based on that, this man is insanely influential in my life. Everything I learned about decency that didn't come from my parents, because your parents can't teach you shit like this unless they get killed in an alleyway. So I learned my moral code from watching Batman, and my Batman, my Bruce Wayne, was Adam West. So now that started when I was 4 years old. Today I'm 42. That's 38 years influenced by a guy that I literally only met just 5 minutes ago, and I almost rolled a tear, man. So I'm going to sit up here and we're going to chit-chat with him. We have a brief amount of time. It's only about 50 minutes, 5-0. So we're not going to be able to do his entire career, which is what I like to do on Fat Man and Batman, but hopefully we'll bring him back to my house and do a much longer session. But for today, since we're all gathered here, since we're all the ComiKaze, and since we all love Batman, we're going to concentrate directly on those very specific years where he was the Caped Crusader, but I would argue that it's never stopped. Adam West will always be my Batman. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Adam West. Have a seat, legend. This is the first thing you notice when you meet Adam West, man. Adam, how old are you for the kids at home?
I have a birthday coming up next week. I'll be 44.
A very spry 44. At 44, you look far more in shape than I ever have, even at birth. What is your secret? How do you stay so damn in shape? You're like Batman thin, dude.
Well, I think it's, am I on here?
You are. You gotta get right into it.